Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's April 23rd. Wow, time seems to be flying here. You know the drill. Okay, I'll zoom into this and you can copy down everything but these last two problems. In fact, maybe I'll fold it up a little bit. You know, it's going to say warm up there. And you should be able to copy everything down maybe. There we go. Hopefully everybody can see that. Okay, give you a minute. Okay, hopefully you were able to copy that down and work on it. And let's see how you did. Okay, I will give you a hint on the kin. Okay, there's different ways you can start on this one. Okay, I like to, whenever I see a 3 times and two numbers, I know that I got to have 1 and a 3 or 3 and a 1, so I know what this is. Okay, but if that's a 3, that's a 1. If that's a 1, that's a 3. Those are my only choices. A 2 cannot go there. A 2 cannot go there. I need a 2 in the first row. So 2 is going to have to go there, right? Okay. Now, as far as getting 8, okay, I need 2 3s and a 2, right? I can't do that with a 3, a 2, and a 1 is only going to make 6. So I have to have 2 of the 3s and 1 of the 2s. I can't have 2 2s because I'm still need 4 more. Okay. So I need 2 3s and 1 2. I can't have 2 3s in the same column. I can't have 2 3s in the same row. So I know that I'm going to have a 3 here and a 3 here and a 2 there. Okay. Now, once I've done that, I think that's enough for you to finish. Okay, I'm going to recommend you start with the fact that you need a 3 in every row and a 3 in every column. That's my hint for you to start. Okay, press pause. All right, let's see what we got here. We have a product of 72 with a sum of 17. What two numbers fit the bill there? Okay. Well, that's going to be an 8 and a 9 or a 9 and an 8. Now, remember that 8 times 9 is equal to 9 times 8, and 8 plus 9 is equal to 9 plus 8, and that's what we call commutative. Okay? Every once in a while, I got to remind you guys that all that really is a vocabulary word that sometimes you get tested on, so I want you to know. Okay, I want you to, do you see a problem like that on a test and say, oh, that's easy. Okay, and it's just memorizing vocabulary. What does it mean? Okay, same thing, frontwards is backwards. It works with multiplying and adding, not with subtracting and dividing. What two numbers have a product of 27 and a sum of 12? Well, hopefully you got that. Is going to be a 3 and a 9. Okay, all right. I gave you the hint. You need a 3 in each column, a 3 in each row. I have a 3 in this row. I have a 3 in this row. This row is empty. I need a 3 up there. I have a 3 in this column. I have a 3 in this column. I need a 3 here. So I need a 3 that's in this row, in this column. It's going to have to go there. Now my answer to this rectangle has to be 3, and I'm multiplying. 3 times what is 3? Well, that's going to be a 1. I have a 3 in the first row. I have a 1 in the first row. I don't have a 2 in the first row. I have a 2 in this third column. I have a 3 in this third column. I need a 1. And it's 2 minus 1, 1? Yeah. All right. I have a 1 in the middle row. I have a 3 in the middle row. I don't have a 2. And I have a 3 and a 2 in the last row. I don't have a 1. Double check. Do these two numbers have a product? I multiply, I get 3? Yeah. Can I subtract one of these numbers and get 1? Yeah, 2 minus 1. Can I subtract and get one of these numbers to be 1? Yeah, 2 minus 1. And do these three numbers add to be 8? 3 plus 2 plus 3. Yep. All right. Okay, what is the square root of 9/64? What number times itself is 9? 3. What number times itself is 64? 8. 3/8 is the square root of 9/64. How about the square root of 16/25? Hopefully you figured that out, is 4/5, right? Because 4/5 times 4/5 is 16/25. 4/5 squared is 16/25. So the square root of 16/25 is 4/5. How about the square root of 49/81? 7/9. And the square root of x squared over 36 is x over 6. Anybody get all four of those? Not yet. Keep trying. Okay. When I divide numbers, the first number goes inside the box. So I would put a 1 2/10 inside the box. Outside the box, I have 0.04. Now, some of you watched my video that taught you how to divide with decimals outside the box, and some of you didn't. Okay? Shocking, I know. I asked them to watch it, and they didn't. Can you believe that? Man, what should I do with those kids? Starting to think I should get the paddle out. Yeah. Okay. Now, I told you if you divide with a decimal outside the box, the math police will come and get you because you're breaking the math law. Okay. And we decided that we need to get rid of the decimal outside the box. You can't just erase it, though. You got to move it over 2 spots. That's like multiplying it by 100. Well, here's the deal. If I move the number outside the box over 2 spots, I have to move the number inside the box over 2 spots. Because remember, a division problem is just like a fraction. Right? So if I wanted to move this over, it's like multiplying that by 100, 2 spots. I have to multiply the top by 100, 2 spots, right? Magic one, 100 over 100. I have to do the same thing to the top as the bottom. Now, the other thing I've said is please do not divide with 4 decimals and all those scoops. That is a confusing looking problem. Okay, and it takes you about 5 seconds or less to make that much, much, much less confusing looking. How? You rewrite it. The decimal's there, the decimal's there now. Rewrite it. I have 4 into 120. Boom. Now, this is so much cleaner and less confusing than that. Okay? If you don't agree with me, I don't think you're being honest with me. This looks so much cleaner and less confusing than that. Okay, and how long did it take me? Less than 5 seconds to rewrite that. So be smart. Okay, remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. When I work hard, life is easy. When I take it easy, life is hard. Work a little bit harder, a tiny, tiny sliver of amount harder, and rewrite it before you divide. Then it's much, much easier. Okay, now let's divide. 4 won't go into 1, but it goes into 12 3 times, right? 3 times 4 is 12. What do I do now? I subtract. What do I do now? Bring down the next number. 4 goes into 0, 0 times. So my answer to that problem is 30. All right, 8 2/3 divided by 4 1/2. First thing I got to do here is use the C method. I need to make these into fractions. Okay, so 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 is 26, and that goes over 3. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and that goes over 2. Now, what did Miss Nortz teach us? Well, you can say it like an 8th grader, okay, which is much less fun. Okay, don't just act like 8th graders because you want to act like 8th graders. right? Act like eighth graders if it fits you, right? If you want to have less fun and say, instead of dividing a fraction, I can multiply by its reciprocal. That is fine. If you want to say that and learn that language, that is awesome. More power to you. If not, enjoy a little fun, okay? And smell my feet, right? Remember as Norris taught us? When you divide fractions, leave the first one the same. That's the S. I'm going to multiply instead of divide. Why? Because multiplying fractions is what? Easy. All right. And the F stands for flip. So instead of writing 9 over 2, I'm going to write 2 over 9. Okay. Now, I'm going to multiply straight across the top, 52. Straight across the bottom, 27. And now that it's improper, I'm going to take 27 27s to make one whole. Put it up here. But put it down here, right? And after I use 27 27s, I have 25 left. So 1 and 25 27ths is my answer there. Raise your hand if you got that one right. Okay, take that hand that's up right now and pat yourself on the back and say, good job. All right. All right, the perimeter, that's the distance all the way around. That's going to be x plus 5, but that only gets me halfway around. I need another x and another x plus 5. How many x's do I have? 1 plus another plus another plus another. That's 4 x's. How many 5s? Plus 5 plus 5, so that's plus 10. The perimeter of this shape is 4x plus 10. What is the area? Remember how to get the area of a rectangle? It's just the length times the width. X times x plus 5. Now, here's where you got to be careful. I got to multiply this, x times the x, plus, it's not plus 5, plus the x times the 5. X times x is x to the second power. X times 5 is 5x, is what they call it. That is the area. Now they want you to make that rectangle 3 times bigger. So I got an x and an x and an x. Is there an easier way to write that? Yeah, let's do it over here. 3 times x. And I got an x plus 5, x plus 5, x plus 5. That's going to be 3x plus 15. Now remember what we did here? That's called the distributive property. So when I went to go make x plus 5 3 times bigger, okay, you could have seen an x plus 5, an x plus 5, an x plus 5, but you could also use a distributive property and say that's 3 times x plus 3 times 5, which is 3x plus 15. Okay, so the perimeter now is 3x plus 3x plus 3x plus 15 plus 3x plus 15. That's 3x, 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 3x. The perimeter ends up being 12x plus, I got a 15 on the bottom, 15 on the top, 30. Now what's the area? 3x times 3x plus 15. Again, make sure you put that in parentheses. Okay, 3x times 3x plus 15. Why did I say to put that in parentheses? Otherwise, you will make the most common mistake that people make when they do this, and they will only multiply the 3x times the 3x and then just add 15 instead of adding 3x times 15. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. X times x is x squared, x to the second power. And 3x times 15 is, 3 times 15 is 45x. That's the area of this new triangle. That's the perimeter. Okay, tough problem, huh? Challenge. All right, these are proportions. Remember how to solve the proportions. That's when you have 3 of the 4 numbers, but you're missing one. My advice for you, cross multiply. Okay, and when I do that, I try to end up with the x on top if I can. So x times 9 equals 21 times 15. Okay, now give myself some room. X times 9 equals 21 times 15. Let's go ahead and figure out what is 21 times 15. 5 ones, 5 20s. 5 times 21 is 105. Put a placeholder. 1 times 21 is 21. 315. So now I have x times 9 equals 315. Remember, my goal is to find out what x is, to isolate x. I get x equals something. So I have to get rid of a times 9. How do you get rid of a times 9? Hopefully you said divide by 9, which is the inverse operation. It's the opposite. And hopefully when you saw me divide this side by 9, you reminded yourself that this equation, that equal sign, means everything's in perfect balance. I can't just divide one side by 9 and have everything stay in balance. I have to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, now times 9 divided by 9, they cancel each other out because they're opposites. So I have x equals 315 divided by 9. Let's go do some long division, all right? 9 will not fit into 3. It fits into 30 3 times. Now I multiply 3 times 9, 27. Now I subtract. 27 from 31 is 4. Now I bring down the next number. How many times does 9 fit into 45? Oh, that's a nice fit, huh? So x equals 35 on that one. All right, last question. 18 over 63 equals 4 over b. I'm going to show you how to do this two ways. First off, I'm going to say, I've been telling you to cross multiply. So you got b times 18 equals 4 times 63. Okay, give ourselves some room. B times 18 equals 4 times 63. I'm going to do this in my head and say that's 4 60s. 4 times 6 is 24, so that's 240, right? 24 with a 0. And 4 3s is 12. 240 and 12 is 252. Okay, how do I get rid of a times 18? Remember, I want to get the b by itself. Well, what is the opposite of times 18? Hopefully you said divided by 18, and hopefully you said wait. Got to make sure you stay in balance. Do the same thing to the other side. Okay, and then this becomes a little bit of a tough long division problem because now you have 2 digits and you got to figure out how many 18s fit into these numbers, right? Well, that first step, you're pretty sure that only one 18 will fit into 25. 1 times 18. Subtract, I get a 7. What do I do now? Hopefully you said bring down that 2. Bring down the next number. And 18 times 4 is actually going to be a perfect fit here. But I know how to do those 18s. 18s are kind of hard. Let me show you something, another way that we could have done this. A little bit of a shortcut, okay? We had 18 over 63 equals 4 over b. Okay, sometimes we get locked into the algorithm, okay? And what I'm talking about here is you get locked into the algorithm, right? And you go do all the steps of this. You borrow, you cross out, you borrow. Really, if you step back and look at this, you used to say, that's $9.99, right? Okay, so don't just lock into the algorithm of cross multiplying. What you can do, sorry, this is supposed to be 63, huh? Sometimes you recognize a number goes into 18 and a number goes into 63. What number goes into 18 and 63? 9. 9 goes into 18 twice, goes into 63 7 times. So I can simplify this fraction to 2 7s. So now I have 2 7s equals 4 B, what did I do to the 4 to make it, to 2 to make it 4? I multiply it by 2. What's 7 times 2? Well, that's what we got, huh? No dividing by 18 on this one. But you had to recognize that a 9 goes into both of those. Okay? All right. Have a great day and have a great weekend, everybody.